Welcome back. I am Olivia from Vase Romantic Home, and in today's video I am so excited to share with you guys some DIY, Dollar Tree, and budget-friendly decor crafts. So it is time for some summer crafting and decorating, and I am so excited for this summer season. If you all love to craft and decorate on a budget, please consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and follow me on my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. And without further ado, let's go ahead and plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. You guys have to try this super easy way to create art on a total budget. So grab any type of frame from your local thrift store and a Dollar Tree calendar, and I'm going to cut out one of the pages of the calendar. This is going to be for a 4th of July decor idea, but I can easily change it out for any season. So once I have trimmed it out of the calendar piece, I'm going to set that aside, and then I'm going to take this, it's actually wrapping paper from Mackenzie Childs, which is one of my favorite designers, and I'm simply going to hot glue it on the back of the original print that came in the frame, which I actually love, but I want to do some seasonal decor and just share with you guys this fun idea. So I'm gonna make it to where I can easily flip it back over when I want to reuse the original art. And so I just hot glued in and around the edges, and then I'm going to trim off the excess paper. This is such an easy craft to do, and it's so easy to change it out. You guys know I'm a seasonal decor enthusiast, so I love being able to change out and decorate with seasonal decor. I also liked how this Dollar Tree calendar, the little Freedom 4th of July print, just felt kind of vintage. I've been on Pinterest looking up some fun ways to decorate for 4th of July, which I'll probably have either people over to my house or just decorate and feel festive to kind of lift my spirits. So anyway, I'm going to take some tape and just gently tape it to my little insert here. That way I can easily remove it for fall and Christmas. I love this spray away glass cleaner. It's probably one of my favorite glass cleaners. So I'm going to clean the glass before I put it back into the picture, and that's just a little tip from me to you. Drop a comment down below and let me know what is your favorite glass cleaner to use. So I'm simply going to easily remove any dust and debris that might have been inside of this frame. I picked this up at a local market, and then I'm just going to go ahead and pop my little picture back in, and just boom, we have a fun little calendar decor piece on a total budget. And I love this Mackenzie Childs border. Their art pieces and decor is so expensive, and so I just thought this would be a fun way to give my home a little flair of Mackenzie Childs and also a festive flair. And I feel like it's really nice because it's framed. You guys could also frame out one of those Dollar Tree square signs fairly easily as well. I always feel like when you put things in a vintage frame, they always look just a little bit more high-end in my opinion. Fun and fabulous on a total budget. Let me share with you guys how you can jazz up any style or size of lantern with some greenery and some flowers and a pretty bow. So I'm going to use this lantern that I found at Hobby Lobby on 40% off, and I'm going to simply add greenery to either side. So I cut greenery that's going to drape down on both sides. You can see I located where the door was. I've done this craft before and covered up my door for the candle to go in. So I also added in some little sprigs of white floral, and then I'm going to make this a 4th of July style lantern with some red, white, and blue flowers. I had all of these flowers in my stash, believe it or not. I don't know if you guys are like me, but I constantly think I have nothing to craft with. And even today, after I got done working out at the gym, I was like, oh, I need to go to Dollar Tree and Hobby Lobby and pick up more supplies, when lo and behold, I had plenty of goodies to craft with. So make sure you check your stash before you go out and spend loads more. I know my stash is full when I have tons of totes in the garage, and I love to repurpose and reuse, which is exactly what I'm doing. These are my red roses from Christmas. I also use them during Valentine's Day, and I'm just gathering them in bundles. I did red, white, and blue on either side, and then zip tied them onto my greenery. Now we're going to create a bow, and I'm starting out with a 12-inch loop. This is the easiest bow you're going to ever make. It's an Olivia bow, so you simply simply take your bow or your ribbon, loop it over on each other to where you get 2 loops on each side. And this is going to be a little bit of a smaller bow than what I usually make because I don't want it to overtake my lantern. Now I'm going to make a loop of bows that are 10-inch loops. This is also Christmas ribbon I had left over. I'm going to take it and loop it over on itself, and I bought a bunch of ribbon on clearance, so it definitely paid off to shop the holidays after Christmas sale. Now also think outside the box because this red isn't your traditional bright red. It's more of a muted red. I'm hoping to do kind of a vintage style 4th of July. This is now an 8-inch loop, and I'm going to loop it over on itself 4 times here. So you just take it and loop it over on itself to where you see that there's 2 loops on each side. And then I'm going to stack these together, and then I'm going to simply zip tie them in the center. Bam, we have a gorgeous ribbon, super easy. And again, also I had all of this ribbon already on hand. Good thing I didn't go out and buy a bunch of supplies because I really had enough to decorate with. Although I am tempted to pop into Hobby Lobby and just maybe pick up a couple 4th of July flags, or maybe even Dollar Tree, and just kind of see what they have. Just peek around, maybe give myself a budget. Definitely give myself a budget. I like to go crazy with decor. Anyway, what I want to do right now is just go ahead and take my loops and pull them out on each side. You're really going to want to fluffy up your bow. Do like a pre-fluff. Here's what it looks like. Again, that bow's super easy. You don't even have to have a little measuring mat. You could simply have a ruler to be able to measure the same bow. I'm going to cut some tails, and you want to cut your tails as long as your lantern is going to be. And this lantern is also about I would say 18 to 24 inches tall. So just kind of size your bow and your floral and your tails about the size of your lantern. Now comes a bit more of the tricky part where I'm really fluffing it to give it that extra zhuzh. I'm adding in some little candles, and I put one on a little riser. That way it kind of pops up. I am out of batteries. I've got to go grab batteries, but here is how it turned out. I was really pleased with it. I was even more pleased that I pushed myself to use everything that I already had in my craft stash, because honestly, you guys, I'm starting to think about following Christmas, so I want to hold back a little bit and not go overspending too much on 4th of July, but I do want to be totally festive on a budget. For this Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to jazz up some of those little Dollar Tree wooden stars for the 4th of July with some of these Mackenzie Childs napkins. I ordered these napkins actually a couple of years ago, and I have gotten a lot of bang for my buck. So I'm going to take some Mod Podge and simply Mod Podge on the outside of my star. Unfortunately, I only had one set of blue napkins. I must have gone over the top and used a lot of blue over the years, or maybe I just bought one pack of blue, but I have a lot of the black and white left. So anyway, I'm going to just take the Mod Podge, lay a good layer of that down, and then pat that dry. And I did remove the inner layer of napkin. And these Mackenzie Childs napkins, I will tell you, they're really nice napkins, very high quality. There's very little bleeding of colors as I work on this project, which is really nice. So I also add a layer on top of that just to really get a nice finish, and then I'm going to simply set that aside. And I basically want to do the same thing on my other star. So I'm going to remove the inner lining off of the napkin. You might want to do that kind of gently, but again, these Mackenzie Childs napkins are nice, so they don't really tear. I'm only going to do half the star with Mod Podge right now because these wooden pieces from Dollar Tree, the larger ones, really absorb the Mod Podge very easily. Now I'm going to take and lay that half of the napkin down and start working on the other half. I'm going to give it a big old dollop of Mod Podge, a little bit too much that time, but I'm going to take a paintbrush and just kind of zhuzh it around. And then with some of the excess that I use too much of that's already on the paintbrush, I'm just going to put a layer on the outside of my original little star. And I do like to let these dry all the way. I've gotten impatient before and tried to cut the napkin off before it's dry, and that makes it tear the project. So I did set this aside and start working on other projects. But then once it was fully dry, let it dry all the way, guys. then I just went ahead and cut around that. And you can add like a bow, you can add paint around the edge of the star. I wanted it to be a little bit rustic. What do you guys think? And I just want it to be kind of more of a decor piece because I have so many bows and goodies added to my florals. So I know this type of decor on the Mackenzie Child's website is super expensive, but we're doing this on a budget using Dollar Tree supplies and then the fancy napkins. And Dollar Tree also has fancy napkins. If you guys don't want to do the black and white check, that's totally up to you. You guys could also just paint these stars, really whatever floats your boat, but this was kind of a high-end idea with a good budget-friendly idea in mind. So I hope you guys are inspired to create some fun decor on a budget. And remember, you guys can customize this to match whatever decor style or colors that you have in your home. And happy crafting! For this next DIY, this is going to be a thrift flip blooming lamp. So I found this base at the thrift store, and then I'm going to take my little lamp that I found from Hobby Lobby. I'm going to use some Dollar Tree foam to really pack in around the base of my lamp, and then just some crumpled up paper, craft paper, to really make sure that my lamp is nice and secure inside of this. You can see that I have actually done this before, and I did this for Easter, and you guys loved it, so we're going to do another one. Now I'm going to take some greenery pieces and just pop them inside of here. I'm trying not to use a ton of glue because this lamp is going to sit over in the corner in my dining room once I start decorating for the 4th of July. And I want to be able to change it out and do one for fall. You guys love this idea. I love this idea. It sits in the corner of my dining room. It's just such a sweet little way to kind of jazz things up. So once I have my greenery down, then I'm going to go ahead and add in my flowers. These blue flowers I actually had left over from a wedding that I decorated for a friend of mine for a couple of years ago. So I'm adding in the blue and then the white and then the red roses, and then just some sprigs of some white flowers that I had left over from Easter. Again, these are everything I'm using in all of these crafts that I'm sharing with you guys today in this video are just leftovers that I already had. So I'm just really digging through my stash. That's why the red, white, and blue are a little bit more muted, but I kind of like it because it gives it a little bit more of a vintage feel. Remember also that I'm crafting upside down and backwards, so you guys are going to have to be the judge of how I'm doing. I can't see how things are looking from the front, so apologies. I did have to turn it so I could see a little bit better, but I am adding in some little Dollar Tree moss on top of the greenery pieces. That way you can't see the greenery styrofoam sticking out. That's something I do not like to see in my projects. So I like to have moss on hand, but I also repurpose and reuse my moss. Anyway, I'm adding in some more red, white, and blue. So I did red, white, and blue on each side of the little planter. I didn't go too much with a lot of flowers in the back because it is going to face the corner of my dining room and you can't get back behind that corner. So you're basically just going to see it from 3 sides. So anyway, let me know what you guys think about this blooming lamp. And if you've tried one, I leave plenty of room for my cord. I also suggest you use a new lamp with a new cord. I love vintage lamps, but unless they've been rewired, I'm a little nervous to use like an old cord in something like this. So anyway, here is the finished product. Let me know what you guys think. I think it's blooming and happy and oh so festive for some 4th of July, Memorial Day, patriotic decor. For this DIY, we're going to do a quick little thrift flip. Now, this is a basket that I shared with you guys for Easter, and it's just a little thrift store basket. I put some styrofoam down inside of it and then added in some greenery. I pulled out the original Easter florals, and I'm going to simply add in white flowers. So you could also just leave it with greenery and add in a couple of festive 4th of July flags, if you're decorating for the 4th of July, or I wanted to give you guys this idea because maybe you just want a pretty basket of flowers, you don't want any colors in it, or you could think about this, add whatever color roses you have, but a cute little idea that's super easy is go to your local thrift store, find a basket, grab some greenery, and then whatever pretty florals you have lying around in your craft stash, you can just add them in seasonally. You can add a bow, really whatever suits your fancy. I was actually starting to run out of my red, white, and blue flowers, so I thought, you know what, for this one, I'm just going to make it simple. I'm going to add in a bunch of white flowers, and then I can add a simple bow to the side. So these are just roses, pretty much random roses with creams and whites, and then just some little smaller pieces to kind of give it some textural elements. So let me know what you guys think, and do you like to prepare little baskets of floral goodies to set around your house? It's one of my favorite things, and it really lifts my spirits and gives me something to look forward to and to work on. And I feel like you can't really mess this up. You know, you just add in your florals and add in your flowers, and it doesn't have to be perfect because it's your home. And so, you know, and even when I'm crafting upside down and backwards, I can't see the front of my project, but so I'm just hoping for the best. And as I'm watching this playback on it, it's looking pretty good so far. The next thing I want to add is just this pretty little ribbon. This is some pretty chinoiserie ribbon that I had found. Oh my goodness, I think I found this actually on Amazon. I'm going to tie a simple little shoelace bow, which is just a bow that you would tie like you're tying your shoelaces. And I think this pretty little thrifted basket came out really nice. I'm going to fluffy up my bow. So this is the blue and white. And then if I wanted to add some red for red, white, and blue, I'm just going to use some Dollar Tree simple gingham ribbon. This was left over from my Christmas craft stash. So I'm really repurposing and reusing. You guys really think outside the box. You don't always have to go out and buy tons of new stuff. Just really try to repurpose and reuse, which I always encourage you to do. And I think is a nice thing to do, especially for your budget, to keep it budget friendly. Once I tied another little bow on top of that, I felt like my project was complete. I do want to pick up some small little flags to pop into my basket to set outside, and bam, we have a fabulous little summer decor piece on a total budget. Let's create a fun and easier summer decor piece. So I have this vase left over from a couple of years ago. I'm going to use a piece of Dollar Tree foam to pop down into it. I don't want to cut these florals because I want to keep them long in case I want to use them on another project. So I'm just going to use that foam for filler, and then to pop a couple of the florals in that are going to be a little bit taller. I left one tall, one short, and then I'm going to do this one about medium size, and I really wasn't sure if I was going to be able to pull this off because I wasn't sure that they were all going to stay together, but they ended up staying together pretty well. I'm then going to take some of these little white flowers that I trimmed off of an Easter project. Again, I'm repurposing and reusing. This isn't a Dollar Tree arrangement, but you guys can find similar flowers like this at Dollar Tree. They even have stems with different like apricots and lemons and different things like that. So definitely check out your Dollar Tree section, or even your Dollar Tree Plus section, or your local floral department in your craft stores. Then I'm going to take some of these white flowers and just kind of gather them around the base because my floral was a little bit top heavy, and because I didn't cut the stems, I wasn't able to really get them good and, you know, secure down in there. Now, all of the projects, if you guys think about it, if you're just making this for your home, all of these projects basically just sit around at my house. So if something tilts a little bit, I can just tilt it right back into place. If you're making this for a professional floral arranging, you would want to cut your stems and whatnot. And apologies in this video if I'm kind of wiggling my nose around because I have had allergies the last couple of days. And so I've really been trying to not touch my nose when I'm filming for you guys. But if you guys do notice me wiggling my nose like a little bunny rabbit, that is why. I added in a couple of pieces of greenery to the front and back of the floral to kind of give it just a little bit of floofy doof, and then added my little white flowers into it, and bam, here is how it came out. I did have to bend the stems forward a little bit. Again, I just didn't want to cut these. They're so pretty, but I think this came out fabulous. I mean, it's not professional, but I feel like it looks really nice, and we did it on a budget, especially using stuff that I already had around my home. It fits nicely in with my red, white, and blue decor. I wanted a couple of neutral pieces. I didn't want everything to be totally matchy-matchy, but once I had these DIYs done, which you guys go check them out and watch them again if you guys are inspired. And you don't necessarily have to do red, white, and blue. You guys could easily do cottage roses, whatever colors you love, but I think it's fun and fabulous, very summer, exciting, friendly. And think about, with the little pears, you could also do lemons, whatever floats your boat. This is your home. You guys roll with it, but it made me excited for the upcoming holidays. And of course, our little guy, Benji Bear, had to pop in. It's so funny because when I was done filming these crafts for the day, it's like he knew that this was his spotlight time. He ran, grabbed me his little toy, brought it in, was like, Mom, you almost forgot to film me because I'm the star of the show. He has his little Happy Holidays tree. That was from Christmas. So it's looking like Benji Bear might need some new summer toys, although his summer toys somehow ended up outside. Don't you love his funny little faces he makes? He has such a sassy attitude, but he's a total sweetheart. And apologies for my room is a disaster. I've had everybody at my house over the weekend for Mother's Day. And anyway, I want to wish all of you all a happy Mother's Day. And I did take a week off. We had some family stuff going on, which I hope to be able to share with you guys. It was a pretty hard thing that we went through. Thank you all so much for joining me on another fun and fabulous crafting and decorating adventure. It's a true blessing and honor to have you all here. For all of you all that come back and love on me in the comment section, thank you all so, so much. All of your love and support is so felt. I am a one-woman show, and this is my 6th season on YouTube. So thank you all for everybody that has been there from the beginning along my journey and then up until now. Welcome to everybody that is new. I am Olivia, Olivia's Romantic Home. I'm a DIY crafty mama, and I have a passion for seasonal decor. It seems to be, for me personally, that no matter what is going on in my life, the highs and lows of life, which we all have them, I can always look forward to every season of decorating. I host pretty much all of my family dinners, and so it always gives me something to look forward to. So if you guys need that little lift in your step, think about that. Just, decorating your house for every season. So anyway, thank you all so, so much for being here. I love you all to the moon and back. Consider subscribing to my YouTube channel. It's totally free. And follow me on my Olivia's Romantic Home Facebook page. And until our next video, be kind to yourselves, be kind to one another. I'll talk to you guys very soon. Bye. Slow. Hold you in my arms, won't let go. The world around could pass us by. A thunderstorm, a lightning strike as we hold each other.